Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We're going to be talking about Kringle Candle Santa's Workshop. Full disclosure, before I get into this review, this candle was sent to me in PR by the brand probably about 6 weeks ago now. They did launch their holiday and their fall reserve collections simultaneously. I want to say that was like mid-September. So these candles have been available for, I would say, almost a month now. And I have already reviewed two of the holiday lineup candles, the Kringle Cupcake and the Cinnamon Apple Wreath. I have already done dedicated reviews on for you guys. I did already declutter Vintage Christmas. You guys will not be seeing that full-length review from me. Not a fan. I've mentioned that, I think maybe in one of my empties videos or one of the candle chats, but I can talk about that a little bit more in another video. However, as I have anticipated, since I have been burning a lot of fall fragrances since I would say mid to the end of July, now that we are in the month of October, I am definitely finding myself craving something new, right? I'm not fully over all of the fall fragrances, but I can start to feel myself, kind of starting to get over them. I'm definitely craving some more woody fragrances, more cranberry scents, and even some tree fragrances. So I figured this week was a good time to go ahead and start burning this fragrance. And a little bit of a spoiler alert for you guys. I'm actually enjoying this fragrance a lot more than I thought I would, especially upon cold sniff. So why don't we go ahead and talk about this candle? First and foremost, I do kind of have to laugh a little bit at my, I still have fall decorations going on here, but let's be realistic. Santa is probably working in his workshop in fall. So, it's okay. Truthfully, you guys, all of my Christmas decorations are up in the attic, and there is no way I am going to pull them down just so I can have an aesthetic look for my candle reviews. So I hope you guys don't mind that we're kind of mixing seasons up here. I don't think any of you guys do, but always like to have a little laugh at myself for that. All right, enough of that intro. Let's talk about this candle. This is one of their large 2-wick tumblers. This is 22 ounces of 100% soy wax. This fragrance is also available in their new 4-wick 32-ounce vessel. I shouldn't really say new. They've been out for about a year now. But this is available in the 4-wick vessel as well as in their daylights and wax melts. I love the packaging on this one, by the way. My son is a huge avid train lover, and my dad was as well. So anytime I see things with a train on it, it's very sentimental to me. So I love the packaging on this, but as the fragrance notes in here would imply, I like that they kind of went with a wooden train, and you see a lot of wooden toys in this label because that actually ties in really well with the fragrance. So the notes on this candle are top notes of wood and cherry, mid notes of tobacco and suede, base notes of musk and cedar. The specific pour date of this candle that I am reviewing is June 19th, 2025. All right, you guys, this candle to me, on cold sniff, I was definitely picking up like a cherry wood note, but I was also smelling a hint of that tobacco, but kind of a suede note in there as well. I had mentioned in the cold sniff videos that I feel like this is a fragrance that if you are a fan of, I believe it was 2 years ago in their holiday lineup, they had a fragrance called, what was it? Father Christmas. And that kind of had a little bit of like a leather note going with it. Now, this is not leather to me. This is definitely more of a suede note in here. It's similar to the suede note that I pick up in, what was it? There's Sunflowers and Suede candle, which I always said is kind of like a rose suede type of fragrance. It's a good suede fragrance. If you've liked any other Kringle candles that have that suede note in there, it is detectable to my nose. What I am really enjoying about this fragrance is that tiny hint of cherry in here. Now, this is not a perfumey cherry to my nose. I know some other ambassadors or other reviewers have said that to them, this kind of reminds them a little bit of like one of the Tom Ford cherry fragrances. Now, for me personally, I've had a dupe of Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, and that is a very perfumey fragrance. That is not this fragrance to me at all. This one is a lot more wood to my nose. It's more wood and suede with a hint of like cherry in the background, but the cherry is not like your summertime fruity cherry. It's definitely more of like a deep, rich, robust cherry that I think really the way that it is used in this candle is to provide like an amplification of the wood notes in this fragrance. I don't know if that makes sense, but almost to imply like a cherry wood. The wood note in here, it gives, I guess the best way that I could put it is that it lends a little bit of sweetness to the wood notes in here, but then it's beautifully balanced out with that suede note and the tiniest balance or hint of tobacco in here as well. Now, the tobacco note in here is not as strong as, say, the tobacco note that was in, there was a Halloween candle a couple of years ago, the Scarecrow. Tobacco, I personally am a fan of tobacco fragrances in home and candles and also personal fragrance. I love the smoke and oak. I love the skull and sonnet, which all kind of have like a tobacco note mixed with kind of more of a boozy fragrance. But this is more tobacco mixed with a little bit of wood. Now, I was not a fan of what was one of the most recent Reserve fragrances where it kind of smelled like a cigar box. I wasn't really a fan of that. This one is just, it's very nice. I feel like all of the notes in here, you even get a little bit of cedar in here, but again, it's not like cedar chest. The cedar note is not as prominent as, say, the like rosewood and vetiver, or some of the other fall fragrances where I felt like they really went heavy on some of those cedar wood notes. I feel like, and again, that I think was probably amplified because there was a mix of patchouli and all that kind of stuff. For me, I really like this fragrance. It's just a nice, beautifully balanced wood and a little bit of suede, tiny bit of tobacco, and it's not overly perfumey. This is what I would say would lean a little bit more traditionally masculine, but not in the cologne realm. It's very nicely done. If you tend to like earthy, woody fragrances, I think that you would really enjoy this one. And the best part, you guys, is that, if you want to sample this fragrance, you can always throw in like a daylight or a wax melt with a Kringle order just to sample it before you commit to a larger size. But yeah, this one has been surprisingly, I have really, really enjoyed it. Now, let's talk about the performance of this candle. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this around here. I've got to reach over here. So you can see I am at about a third of the way through the burn on this vessel. You can see the wicks are performing quite well for me. Flames are nice and healthy. They're not overly aggressive and getting ridiculously sooty. These are really, honestly, like the perfect wicks for me with Kringle. They give a good healthy flame, but they're not wild and creating a lot of soot. Wax pool is nice and clean there. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this back around. Strength and throw on this candle, you guys, it's about a 7 for me in this 2-wick format. I definitely smell it really, really well when I burn it in the closed concept bedrooms. And truthfully, you guys, that's kind of been where I've really enjoyed these fragrances just because of the fragrance profile in general. To me, this is more of like a bedroom fragrance because it does lean a little bit more slightly masculine to me. But this is about a 7 for me in terms of strength and throw. It definitely fills up a closed concept space. I was burning it just before I filmed this review out here in my open concept living room. If you're new to my channel, I do list in the description box the square footage of my home, layout, kind of just let you know that in that area of my house, there's really high ceilings and it is more open concept. And so, candles perform differently in that type of environment or that type of setup than they do in my more closed concept bedrooms. But I could still smell it out in the living room, but it's not really projecting and throwing all the way into my kitchen from that place. And again, this is not a like smack you in the face fragrance, which truthfully, I think that's why I like it so much, because I found that like the rosewood and vetiver one, I find that if wood fragrances are too strong, I don't like them as much. I would say for wood fragrances, 7 is kind of my sweet spot, to be honest. Now, that's just me. If you really like an intense woody fragrance, I would probably encourage you to get this in the 4-wick format, because on another fragrance from this holiday lineup, it was the cinnamon apple wreath. When I did a review on that, I said that I really enjoyed that fragrance, but it was performing best in my closed concepts. And I was curious to see if I bought the 4-wick, if it would be a little bit stronger. And I lit that one up. I've lit that one up the last 2 days. And guess what? The 4-wick is a lot stronger performer than the 2-wick. So if you want a little bit stronger performance out of this candle, I would probably recommend the 4-wick. But yeah, make sure you pick it up in like a daylight or a wax melt first. If the fragrance sounds a little bit like, if you're intrigued by it, but you're not really sure that you want to commit to the full size. As for me, I will finish burning this one. I've really enjoyed pairing it with another candle that I will probably have a review for you guys next week on. It's not a new fragrance from KRINGLE, but it's the first time I've had it. It is their fragrance Snow-Capped Fraser. That has been a really nice combination. This one has been burning really nicely, you guys, with any like tree fragrances. And I'm just talking maybe like more like woody tree fragrances, which, spoiler alert, Snow-Capped Fraser does lean a little bit more woody tree fragrance. So I think that that's why they've been combining so well. But I've really been enjoying that pairing. But yeah, I prefer this one more so in my bedroom. Do I see myself repurchasing it? Probably not. I like it, but it's not a love for me, but it's also not just a meh for me either. So I kind of categorize fragrances and as love it, I want to repurchase it, like it's going to be a staple, like it, meh, I could go either way, and then flat out dislike, like candles that I don't like. This is a like for me. I definitely am not desiring to declutter it. I definitely see myself finishing burning it. But at this point, I don't really see myself loving it enough that I would want to repurchase it. But I am surprised by how much more I enjoyed upon burn, because truthfully on cold snip, I wasn't really sure what to think of this one. So yes, I do recommend this fragrance. The 2-wick will be fine if you're planning to burn it in a closed concept. If you want it in a larger space, then I would definitely say go for the 4-wick. I do have an affiliate discount code with KRINGLE. It does save you 15% off of your purchase with them, Katie15. It is an affiliate code that is eligible for a commission. Also, the day that I am filming this, I did just receive word that KRINGLE is going to be having a surprise launch this Friday, October 10th, of it looks like about 14 new 3-wicks. If you guys shop from the brand, you guys know back in the spring, they had a collection of like 3-wick candles that were with a colored wax, and they had a price point of 3 for $33. They are kind of doing that for fall and winter scents as well. And so those will be releasing on Friday, October 10th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Those also will be at that 3 for $33 price point, or $24 each. I did purchase some of the spring and summer ones, and I had a couple that were really good performers. But my experience and what my expectations are for that line in general is that I feel like those fragrances are a little bit more, they're kind of more like mass market appeal type of fragrances. We know KRINGLE likes to veer into a little bit more conceptual and high end. And I feel like those 3-wicks, while you get good performance out of them, they are definitely more of like your basic fragrance profiles. And that's fine. I think that works great. There's a lot of us who are very basic people and we like basic fragrances. So anyways, if you are interested in purchasing those, they will be available this Friday, October 10th. I believe that the 3 for $33 price point is kind of going to be their standard, the standard offering for those. I don't think that my affiliate code will take any further discounts on that bundle pricing. However, if you're wanting to save money on shipping, like I said, you can use my affiliate code on any other full priced items that you plan to purchase. All right, you guys, I am so sorry that this video got a little bit long, but I felt like I needed to throw all of that information in for you. Please let me know in the comment box down below if you have purchased this candle and what your experience has been with it. Let us know what notes you're picking up on. Please hit thumbs up if you found this review helpful. Consider subscribing if you are new. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.